Hello, Nikhil. How are you?
I'm very well, Adrian.
That's good. Thanks for joining us on the podcast today. We haven't done one for, I was thinking about the other day, for over a year. So it's good to do another one. And a lot's happened in that year. And both for ourselves individually and what we're looking to do and to create. So we thought this would be an opportune time while you're back in Perth for the short amount of time that you are to do one. So yeah, it's great to be able to do this. So thank you. Something that we've been working on a lot and speaking to quite a lot, in especially over the last 12 months, and following on from our last podcast, is just where we're at, I guess, as a civilization, as a world, as we're seeing this awakening that's occurring, and then how that integrates with all elements of our life. We spoke just before we recorded this about, creativity and business and health and well-being, and we thought we'd touch on some of those subjects today, and also what we wanting to do and achieve as part of the Akasha Creative / Akasha Academy platforms that we have. So maybe if we can start first, we get a take from yourself, of where you feel like we're at as a society and a civilization, I guess mirrored with your own experiences as well, especially of late.
Cool. Well, first of all, it's just a pleasure to connect again in this sphere.
It is.
It's always great to drop in and discuss and speak to these important happenings in the world and how they relate to our experience. So it's been a year since we've last done one of these, and hopefully it's a more regular thing. Just speaking to where I'm at right now within myself, it's been quite an epic journey over the last year of transformation and growth, and that's clearly reflected in the collective, as I observe with those in my field, with those in the online space, been moving through layers and layers of density, which have been falling away with intentional purpose by source, so that we can uplift ourselves and step into greater purpose and service to the planet, as these old paradigms of being are falling away, these patriarchal structures that have been built on fear and enslavement, keeping us focused on an external reality.
The male-dominated culture, as Terence McKenna called it.
It's that's coming to an end, and the feminine has been rising for a while now, and been holding that space for the masculine to really to step into its own power as well. And that's what I'm feeling is happening right now. The masculine energy, which had been expressing itself in a very toxic way for a myriad of reasons, is now coming into its own and de-armoring and stepping into vulnerability and courage and allowing itself to be expressed, and in doing so bringing the polarities of masculine and feminine into wholeness. And so that's really showing up in the way that people are relating to each other, in the way that people are expressing themselves in the world, and how people are actually stepping more deeper into service and saying that, hey, I don't necessarily have to live life the way in which I thought I needed to, with all conditionings, like doing a 9 to 5 or whatever it might be. But people are starting to connect with their soul's truth and take steps to bring them into reality.
And on that too, I mean, I'm just sort of thinking too, with that new space that men are moving into, there's also a lot of confusion there as well for those who perhaps don't have a purpose around it. Like, I'm thinking of things like, the Me Too movement and all these aspects where all the shit from this male-dominated culture has come up to the surface to be looked at, and rightly so, and it needed to. It's left a lot of men in this space of like, well, how do I be? Like, how do I move through life? How do I experience life? In this new sort of realm that I find, and I think a lot of men especially are confused. Like there's a it's just noticing even in myself, like, okay, now this is what's expected of me as a man, and rightly so, like to be in authenticity and integrity. But if I've come from this sort of background and this learning, like how do I integrate that? And I think having a purpose really helps with that. But as many people, both men and women, who sort of lack that purpose and drive in life, and perhaps I think that's what you and I are wanting to really help facilitate and nurture in people, is this idea of the purpose in this new world view that we're creating, or that's being created at the moment.
Yeah, no. So speaking to that, having a sense of purpose and a clear mission is what catalyzes action within us. And of course, a purpose needs to be very much aligned with one's own values, with one's own worldview, and to see how any steps that they take is actually contributing to their well-being and the well-being of society. Now, understanding one's purpose is, it's not necessarily a black and white process, and it's not something that can just be deducted overnight. But what helps one to find their purpose is really connecting to source, connecting to one's own pool of infinite knowledge and infinite wisdom. And from that state, we are able to determine what it is that we are here to do. And that can always shift and change and grow. And all of us, I guarantee you, we're not just here to do just one thing, but we are here to share our unique gifts and talents with the world. And I genuinely believe that these are stored within our DNA. They're latent codes that we have brought through our generational timelines and through our grander expanse of self to be shared with the world in this lifetime.
For sure.
And as we move through our depths and our shadows and actually integrate those aspects of self which have been separated and shattered through our human experience, as we bring them back into wholeness, we're able to activate our own gifts. Our purpose is revealed to us because our purpose is genuinely tied to the human experience. And that sense of separation, how we've come back into wholeness again. And then once you become clear around your purpose, it's aligning your life, your mindset, your relationships, your habits, in order to actualize that purpose. In the knowingness that it's in your highest good and in the good of all of mankind to step into that and to own that.
And how can people better sort of step into that wholeness or fulfill that wholeness, bring it back within? What are some things that you've looked at and seen with other people to achieve that? Or work on that, I should say. Perhaps achieve isn't the word, but to work on that at least.
Sure. So it's, and this is the thing, it's a continuous becoming and unfolding, because we'll always grow and expand and step into, I guess, greater depths of purpose. But for me, the key piece is embodiment. It's embodiment. And what that means to me is how much and how deeply have you clarified your vision and grounded it within yourselves, within your mindset, within your operating system for being as a human, right? So once you're clear around, okay, this is what I'm here to do in the world. Okay, I'm here to assist, individuals in reclaiming their sovereign nature and, and creating a sustainable business around that. For example, if that was the case, and if I genuinely felt and resonated with that, and it feels right with me, I would need to understand what that looks like for me as an individual. How do I show up in the world?
First and foremost,
right? How do I act?
Not what other people need to be doing, but what I need to be feeling and behaving and acting.
Correct, because we are we are the node point for our purpose. If we haven't washed over and we haven't actually actualized that sense of being within us, and if not showing up as that individual, it's going to be very difficult to help others from a place of integrity.
Sure.
So first of all, it's integrating whatever is still out of balance with that purpose. For example, if I'm trying to achieve this, it's like, okay, does this habit that I'm running in my system right now support that? Maybe it's procrastination, and taking a look at that. So number one, healing those aspects.
Sure.
Number two, coming to wholeness, believing and having confidence that I am capable of living my purpose. And then it's really showing up every single day, even just small actions, a conversation with somebody, speaking from that place of truth and embodiment of purpose. And then aligning your life slowly but surely. And magically you'll find that when you have stepped into that place of, walking the talk, you'll start to just draw to you those allies, those people, those opportunities which support the actualization of your purpose in this reality.
Yeah.
Because inevitably, your purpose is seeking you as much as you are seeking your purpose.
For sure, definitely, exactly right. Yeah, it's a reciprocation there, and what you're speaking to there, I really feel is about this sort of move out of this paradigm of like income, business, abundance, and life itself, and really integrating the two, that they're both one and the same, so that what the gifts that we offer and our ability to share and to help others and be of service to help others is what will be reciprocated back from the universe in the form of, you know, a roof over our head and food on the table, etc. A nice car if you want to, or whatever it might be, you know. So we're in a very fortunate position. What we've spoken about today is that we're in this transition at the moment where we're transitioning into that, where our life itself becomes a thing that provides the abundance. But we're not quite there yet, you know, and I feel that there's perhaps some teething problems with how people approach that. But it is happening. So, you know, something that you and I have wanted to really look at, especially with our Akasha Academy, is to create systems, I guess, or like an incubator style setup where people can then understand first and foremost what we spoke to, of like, who am I, what am I offering, what am I feeling in my heart to share, and then how can I create a platform that is then going to support me and sustain me. Because I think that's the biggest thing that I know you put up on Facebook a couple of weeks ago. You know, what is one thing that's really you need in your business to be able to move forward and create? And so many people have so many different things, you know, like how do I start, or how do I market, or how do I how do I reach an audience, or how do I monetize, and things like that. And that all come, it all work, but we need to really start with the self and moving in through that, and moving to a space where again your life becomes your abundance. So what are some things you feel like you can see with the Akasha Academy, and what we would like to offer with that can help people in that transition that we're going through to create an abundant world?
Beautifully said. And just really reiterating one more time, like the importance of connection to self, and having that confidence in your connection with source, and to create and clarifying your message as a foundational piece before stepping and diving into the whole digital space and looking for visibility. If we haven't created a strong container in which we are able to flow and express, it's going to be challenging for an individual to step into the unknown. So having that sense of faith and trust is very important first. And what we hope to, and what we will create in Akasha Academy, is a fertile ground for individuals such as yourself to come, to feel safe, to unravel and unfold in a very intentional and held environment, to step into your purpose, to understand what it is that you are here to bring into the world. Okay, and we'll be providing resources and information for you to build confidence, number one, in yourself as a sovereign creator, okay, and number two, provide pathways, easily actionable pathways, for you to take steps into expanding the container of your being. And what that means is, it's like, we are at a stage right now, for example, that we have got capabilities to do X, Y, and Z. And to get one's message to the world in scale, you may need to be doing like A, B, and C as well. But it's a process.
Yeah.
So being an incubator of sorts would just be providing tools for you to practice with, to just expand your own capacity to reach others, your own capacity to connect with yourself.
Sure.
Really building a strong foundation and priming you for the next stage of your expansion.
Definitely, yeah, spot on, Nikhil. And really looking at, from our point of view, our perspective, what we want to look at doing and building, it's like a temple space, really. You know, where we bring in the elemental forces of the universe, the mathematical formulas of the universe, the way the universe entwines amongst each other and within ourselves. There is a formula to that, you know. There's the Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio, all these things that pervade throughout nature, of which we are a part. There's a divine architecture there that has been used in buildings for many, many years, and it can also be introduced into the digital realm as well, both digital and also physical, of course. So I think Akasha Academy for me is something that's going to embody both of those, where this real temple space to be created both digitally online and also in the physical presence as well, that people can come and, I guess, harmonise is the best word to describe it. Yeah. So I think, you know, it's an exciting thing to be able to offer and to do. I don't really know of many other, you know, companies, organisations, I should say, facilitating that or doing that. There's other incubator type organisations around, but to do it from the really intentional space that we're looking to achieve is something that's unique, and I feel is going to be what's required and what's going to resonate for this awakening that's occurring at the moment. Yeah. Anything else could perhaps fall to the wayside or be a part of the split that's occurring as well.
Very much so. We've very much been guided to, you know, create from this space of newness, of full trust and embodiment in source. And exactly as you said, this will be a temple space, a very intentional environment in which individuals can come back into harmony with themselves, you know, and having that space, having that support system is just imperative, specifically as there's so much noise out there, so much noise out there in the social sphere, there's so much noise out there in the world, and having a sanctuary where you can go through, where you're seen as the being that you are, and where you're held to your highest vision is extremely important.
Yeah.
You know, as we continue to move forward, we're all leaders here, bringing forth this new reality into being, and doing the work and actually having the time to integrate into this new sense of self is really imperative. So when it's time to be accelerated out into the world with your message, with your offering and service, it's important that you're solid within yourself, and that's really one of the keys which we are really embedding into the structure of Akasha Academy. It's this sense of integrity with oneself, so that we can all serve and be these powerful spheres of influence in the world. And when the challenges and the distractions and the tides come, we are just strong, and together as a community we can hold each other as we move and expand and literally create heaven on earth.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, very well put, Nikhil. It's all about bringing it within and finding that optimal space within. And as you were talking there, I mean, it brought up some things for me still in my quest to really sort of that belief and trust in myself. You know, we've spoken a lot about trust and that courage and conviction to then express and move forward. And, you know, something that I've been really sort of working and looking at remedying within me is this aspect of like just concentrating on what I can do best, or what I can do as well as humanly possible, and not what other people are doing wrong. And I think sometimes that might be what gets sort of people stuck, is that they'll be looking at what other people are doing, both perceiving it good and bad, but not so much looking at what they as an individual can achieve and do. And I mean, the greatest thing you can offer is your own shared experiences and your own shared wisdom, not relaying a message from someone else. I mean, of course, we all have, our wisdom is gained by the experiences and sharing within us, but we're all very unique in our own understanding of life and what this whole universal flow we find ourselves in. So to share that from our own perspective is only really achieved in its purest state when we're just focused on our own ability and our own heart, connecting it with our minds and its ability to really focus. And from there, it's really not that it should be not that it's an ease or it should be easy, but there is a sense of ease that comes across. I mean, you still have to work, you still have to put the hard yards in, rise and grind and all those sort of aspects of it, but it's more enjoyable then. It's more with joy. And I think that's what we want to look at doing with Akasha Creative too, and Akasha Academy is do it with joy, like people finding the joy in this, not that it's not like a hassle, but like what we're wanting to do is to create a sense of again joy, and move forward from that perspective.
Yeah, and just speaking to what you had touched on before, it's like your business, call it that. It's an extension of you.
Yeah, exactly. It's not separate to you. It is you.
It is you. Yeah. Like your whole reality is you, and it's showing itself your edges, and it's showing you how you can grow, expand, and serve. So anything that you are creating or putting into the world, if it's not coming from a place of service and joy, which stems from the heart, you're going to have a hard time. And the resistance that you face will be not a healthy resistance, but an unhealthy resistance.
Yeah.
And nobody wants stress. We want challenge to help us grow and evolve.
Yep.
But coming from a place of love, service, connectivity to your actual purpose and sense of self will automatically enable you to move through those challenging times with grace and ease, and the knowingness that the steps you are taking are very much intertwined with your evolution as a soul. And this is a fast track to evolution when you own your purpose and you commit to your purpose. And the moment that you start to, your whole reality will shift, and doorways will open up where there used to be walls. And
it's karma busting.
It really is.
Yeah, a lot of aspects of what we're looking to achieve is to drop the karma and come at it from, instead of that dualistic perspective, like really in the Holy Trinity, where there is no karma, where the ability to manifest is instant, based on our intention and our energy. And to do that, it, like you said, it really just comes about by like believing in oneself, trusting and expressing that, moving forward, whatever it might be in life and in business. Again, one and the same. If you're creating something, building something, offering something, and from there it's a joy again. So with Akasha Academy, we're looking at offering a webinar / live event and a teaching in say around 2 or 3 weeks. So perhaps Nikhil, could you just touch on that and what we're looking at offering with that?
Sure. So we'll be running a live masterclass, which will be available afterwards as well, called Establishing Connections, where we will go through the mechanisms of number one, connecting to self and connecting to your community using digital tools in a very grounded, in a very easy to conceptualize way, with an intention to shift any fears or animosity around the digital space and really see it as a very powerful tool in your toolkit to reach your community who you are destined to serve in a fun, easy and quite seamless way.
Yeah, nice. So we'll be offering that in, we think around about 2 weeks' time. It'll be offered through our Akasha Academy Facebook group. So I'll put a link in underneath this with those the links to that, and then in the next couple of weeks we'll be sharing some different bits of information and ways to come on board with that if you're interested. I know we've offered it before in the past as a live experience to different groups of people and got some incredible feedback, because I feel like what we offer is something unique, something different. It is very much about establishing your understanding of who you are and what you're wanting to offer with the people around you, and but doing so from a soulful, heart-based point of view, not just so much from the mind, but really creating a balance in there. So it's exciting to be able to offer
very
it,
much so.
to be able to build upon that as well. Is there anything else you can think of in regards to that?
Yeah, no, we just openly invite you to, to dive deeper. If you feel the call to, immerse in the Akasha Academy and, and connect deeper to yourself, it's our dharma, it's our service to, provide the space. Like, we're very much ready to step up and to really create an environment for individuals like yourself to step into your power, step into your truth, and like you said, we have a very unique approach that's based on energetics. It's based on the quantum reality, like you said, beyond karma, coming from the point of unity, of understanding that we are creative beings that are creating moment by moment by moment. So this is a new paradigm that we are bringing through and holding space for, and we would love your involvement as we co-create this new space and this new reality, and we're very excited.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, very well put, Nikhil. I think it's again, it's very exciting times we're in, moving through, letting go, releasing, and re-identifying who we are from a different perspective, and doing so to, at the same time, provide for ourselves as individuals and yourself as an individual, but also doing so in service as well. So, yeah, it's fantastic times we're in.
Big time.
All right, Nikhil.
Cool.
Thanks very much, brother. Really enjoyed the chat and catching up again. And we'll, like I said, be putting up different bits and pieces. Please check out the Akasha Academy Facebook group if you're not already. And we'll have different links and different bits and pieces from there. It'll be a live event, but we'll also be there for people to engage with, from time until there's no time left whatsoever, or at least till a solar flare comes along or an asteroid or something like that. But it'll be there, it'll be available.
Still a few thousand years, so that's going to happen. So
yeah.
It's all good.
With any luck, it'll be good. All right, thanks very much, everyone. Thank you very much, Nikhil. And to anyone, if you have any questions, please contact us. We have the Akasha Creative Facebook page. We also have the Akasha Academy group, or through, I'll also be linking this to my podcast as well. You can contact me by email or Facebook, my website, all gone. And Nikhil, where can people find you as well?
Yeah, so at this stage, just contact me directly. I'm more than happy to answer any messages, or through our Akasha Creative page, contactable to there, and through the group. If we're meant to connect, we'll find a way.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yes.
Or where there's a flow, there's a way. Yeah,
correct.
For sure. So, yeah. All right. Thanks very much, brother. Thank you very much, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Cool.
Awesome, bro.
Sweet.
Thank you.
That was
really good.
That's good, man.
Nice.
All right. Exciting, man.